Hi, I'm Jeff Stark, and I want to thank you for being with me today. We are currently in a series of videos titled Men, Boys, and Marriage, which is addressing two particular problems in common marriage that can be very harmful and very destructive. In our first video, we described one problem, and that problem really basically boiling down to one particular person in the marriage, in this case, the wife, doing about 80, 85, 90% of the chores and the duties and the responsibilities around the household and in the family. And the husband may be doing 5, 10, or 15%. And the problem being obviously that the wife is doing significantly more than the husband's doing, vastly more than the husband's doing. And that inequality can present a very, very difficult challenge and can be very, very painful for that couple. Wife would typically in that situation be very angry because her husband's not coming up and doing as much as he ought to do, should do, at least as much as she's doing. Secondly, she's frustrated because she's probably for many years tried to get him to do more, but has not been successful in doing that. Doesn't have much hope that he's going to do it as well. And then thirdly, someone who's doing that is doing the work of five people. Remember that? She's taking care of herself. She's having to take care of her husband because he's not taking care of himself. She's got three little ones who aren't taking care of themselves for obvious reasons. And so one person's doing the work of five people. And a marriage can't survive that for very long. It's very, very difficult. What I'd like to do in the second video of this video series entitled Men, Boys, and Marriage, I'd like to give you a little microscopic insight or window into what that might look like in that kind of a marriage. I'm going to narrowing it down to an example that I think will be helpful for you to hear and for us to examine. Here's what it looks like. So the husband comes home at dinner time or around that time, and the wife's in the kitchen. She's got one hand making dinner. She's got carrying a baby and another one that's doing this. She's helping the kids do the homework. And she's just up to her eyeballs trying to keep up with the household stuff, the things that have to be done. And obviously, this is a stay-at-home mom or someone who's home more often than the husband. But she says, as the husband walks through the door, hey, please take care of the laundry. I can't do it right now. And he's a little bit annoyed that he just got home. He wants to unwind, and she's telling him what to do already. But he goes into the bedroom and changes his clothes and goes off and sits in front of the couch, sits on the couch in front of the TV, starts watching the news perhaps, and the wife says, hey, sticks her head out and says, did you get the laundry? And he said, oh, I forgot. And he did forget. He was preoccupied by something else. So he goes off into the bedroom, gets the laundry basket, puts the laundry in there and takes it, puts it in the laundry room, back to the TV and the news. Well, she's doing her thing and something's missing from her sound. She's not hearing the wash. She says, did you put the wash in the washer? He goes, well, you didn't tell me to do that. She goes, well, where is it? And the husband says, it's in the laundry room. And she looks in the laundry room, and sure enough, there's the laundry in the basket. And she says, well, why didn't you put it in the washer? And he yells back from the living room, you didn't ask me to do that. So she kind of does one of those things and says, well, I'm cooking right now, so please finish the wash. So at the next commercial, he gets up, goes in the laundry room, opens the lid, pours the dirty clothes into the washer, pours in the soap, hopefully, closes it, puts the water on, walks away from it, and the washer begins. Well, she sits down and the family dinner starts to take place. And she's having dinner as they would normally do. And then after dinner, she happens to notice that the washer's done. She opens up the dryer to see what's going on. She says, well, where's the laundry? And she looks in the washer and she sees the wash there, but says to her husband, why the wash isn't done? Why didn't you put the stuff in the dryer? We can't leave it in there all night. And he says, well, you didn't ask me to do that. You just asked me to put it in the washer. And she says, I'm asking you to do the laundry. Would you please put it in the dryer? So he gets up off the couch, rolls his eyes again, feeling annoyed, and and she goes back into the kitchen or whatever, probably to the bathroom, and where she's giving one of the kids a bath and doing some homework with the boys and girls and things like that. So anyway, he gets up, puts it in the dryer, turns the dryer, and walks away. Well, that night, the kids are in bed, and she now goes to look for her jeans and the blouse that she intends to wear the next day. Can't find it. And she says, well, "Where's the laundry?" And he goes, "Well, it's probably in the dryer." And she says, "Haven't you taken it out of the dryer?" And he goes, "No, you didn't ask me to do that." She says, "Honey, I'm asking you to do the laundry from start to finish. Will you please get it out of the dryer, and will you please fold it and make it ready to be dispersed?" So now he's really annoyed because this is the fourth time that she's asked him to do this. He gets up, puts it in the laundry basket, and brings it in the living room and starts folding it. All the while she's thinking, I hope he distinguished between the whites and the darks, because if he threw it all in there at the same time, the whites are going to be gray, and but that passes her thoughts at that point in time. So they roll into bed, and she's again looking for her jeans and the blouse that she had washed, and says, "Well, where's the laundry?" And he says, "Well, it's in the living room. It's in the basket." "Well, why didn't you bring the basket in?" "I don't know. I didn't think of it." So she goes out to the living room, brings in the basket, and she takes her stuff and gives him his stuff in the basket. He takes the basket, puts it on the floor, and she knows that there's a very good chance that stuff's never going to get into his. If she doesn't put it into his bureau, it's probably not going to get into the bureau. He's just very happy to pull it out from the basket as needed. Now, that's very frustrating. She's going to be annoyed and angry as she goes to bed, having to tell her husband 4 or 5 times, "Come on, dude, finish it. Take care of it. I'm up to my eyeballs." And she's going to be frustrated and angry and annoyed. And he's going to be annoyed too, because, this woman keeps nagging me. She won't leave me alone. I'm right in the middle of my show. I've put in a long day. It's time for me to relax. And she's telling me what to do. She's treating me like a boy. She nags me. So he's going to go to bed probably pretty annoyed and angry too. But anyway, what I've described for you is one little window into that kind of a problem, where the wife is doing 85% of the work. The husband is doing 15% of it, and even maybe 10% of that she has to tell him to do 4 or 5 times. But that's just the laundry. You add to that she has to ask him for days on end to pick up dirty dishes and put them into the kitchen. She knows when she goes there, they're going to be in the sink. She's going to ask him to put it in the dishwasher. She's going to open up the dishwasher. They're dry, but they're not put away. She's going to ask him to put it away. He's going to be angry that she's on his back again, but that's the dishes, and then there's cleaning, and there's organizing, and there's picking things up that the kids leave laying around. And if you multiply that laundry snafu times 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, then you're going to have a very, very difficult marriage, and they're both going to be very, very unhappy in their marriage. But that's not uncommon, but it is a very serious problem and can create a lot of hard feelings and a lot of hurt feelings as well. If this has described you and your marriage, or perhaps maybe your son who's married or your daughter who's married, and you happen to notice they're going through the same thing, you have some friends who have described something similar to you, I would encourage you to stay tuned to our future videos. We're going to look at the scriptures. After we look at problem number 2, we've looked at problem number 1 again today, but we're going to look at number 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos are going to be looking at the scriptures and how they speak into that situation, and how God would have much better things happening between the two of them, how they can grow, what does God want them to learn, how can they go about a household in a very, very different manner and come out of it going to bed happy with each other instead of angry with each other. So I invite you to stay tuned for video number 3 next time, which will look at the second problem that we're going to address in this marriage. And then video 4, 5, and 6, and etc., are going to be looking into the scriptures and how God can help a husband and a wife in that situation do much better and much differently. Okay? So stay tuned. And if you know someone who can profit from these videos as well, let them know and teach them how to download them and look at them to their benefit as well. Okay? So look forward to seeing you in video number 3.